Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome back to the BSR MX5 Pro Series for the final round here today at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Brad Clank. It was Sammy Kumo in the broadcasting booth, and we are here for the final race of this wonderful season. Brad, how are you feeling?
Yeah, hi Austin, Sam, and all the viewers. Yeah, feeling good. Looking forward to this one. Coming along for the ride for these last few rounds has been a lot of fun. And this unique New Hampshire Roval layout is a lot of fun to drive to. I just recently got the track myself and gave it a spin in a few different cars, and yeah, it's certainly pretty unique. It's looking forward to it.
It certainly is a thrill ride, and with the championship coming down, it's between Cooper and Ashton, and well, it's been between them throughout all the season, but Cooper has a sizable lead, and he could take the championship here today. So all eyes are going to be on him and Ashton. He's been outperforming Ashton, especially all last round in Phillip Island, where Ashton just had some terrible luck. So it's going to be very interesting to see how today goes, as qualifying is just ending up. 4 incredible races are underway here at New Hampshire. Race number 1 is settled by qualifying, which we are in right now. Race 2, 3, and 4 are all based on the results and the wonderful reverse grid wheel, which will be spun by Sammy after each race.
Yeah, and yeah, good shots from the onboard here to get us in the mood. There's just that sort of dangerous looking entry onto the straight, just narrowly missing the pit wall. It's always like yeah, whoever wants to be the bravest there, pretty much, which
yeah,
could be eventful given the pack style racing that we get in this series.
Yeah, there are a few dangerous curve spots on this track. I know coming out of the road course section back onto the oval, there's a little bit of a high curb right there, and if you just clip that, you're going to bounce up on 2 wheels. But if you hit that hard enough, you can flip your car over, as we see that curb right there with that orange cone sitting on top of it.
Yeah, I may have found that out myself. the very first session I drove around here. So, and we've got the quite treacherous turn onto the what I call the outfield there as well. So expect to see some pretty aggressive moves being made down into that section of the track.
Here's our starting grid. Jason Cooper starts up on pole, followed up by Adam Delmont, Steve Baxter, Jack Ashton, Ashley Beard, Adam McNally, Brian J. Holmes, Alex Esri, Jamie Ayers, Peter Van Gool, Craig Jones, Cesar Rizzo in P12. He's followed up by Carl Hardy, Kip Stevens, Benjamin Mias, Carl Jacquelet, Ralph Collingham, Charles Kellyman, Andy Maxwell, Phil Regan, Joe McDonald, Abdur Al-Amri, Stephen Cooley, Jerome Ursum in P24. Let's roll through the rest of the results right now as we are getting ready to go green. And this is a very interesting grid because we have cars starting on the turn.
Yeah, that's going to make it awkward for some of those guys towards the back. Cooper will not have to worry about that. Starting on the pole.
T-pose from the Marshall. Meme Lord.
His arms should be getting tired by now.
Yeah. Good form, though.
Shouldn't be long to go here. The guy's just gridding up the last few.
Yeah, we're waiting for 2 more cars to grid up onto the grid, but they might be serving penalties for start from last race and might be started for the pit lane. So we're waiting on Benjamin Mias and Niels Carlson right now. But we are ready to go racing for one last time here today. No, not one last time. One last time of this season. The last race today is the 4th race. This is the race number 1. And we're about to find out who's going to take the championship as the lights are coming on. And we're going green flag racing for the final round in the BSR MX5 championship.
Yeah, Cooper got a nice jump there. Oh, you see the cars going so close to the wall there as they come onto the oval.
Coming out of the back straight into the little kink, and big crash into the wall. That's Steve Hefford.
Yeah, I was about to say that a nice clean, well-behaved start, but then I just caught a glimpse of that in the background. So, but overall, it's pretty clean as they head out the outfield up over the crest and down into this banked kind of hairpin section here. It's a lot of fun to drive there.
Yeah, New Hampshire, very unique road course element going inside the track and then all around the outside. You see the leaders already going through here. Here comes a treacherous turn right back on there. You see a few cars hopping over that curb right there. I believe one of the year 1 cars got on 2 wheels. He's Joe McDonald trying to find any move that he can to get inside of Adur Al Amri. So they complete the first lap right now. Here comes Amri on the inside of Kellyman. Makes that easy.
There's not really any gaps forming up just yet.
Well, there is a top 6 to P7.
Yeah, there we go. The rest of them are pretty much just a car length or 2 away from each other, so it's good. Not too many incidents at the start, so you should see lots of strategy play out now.
Lots of strategy and ludicrous passing attempts definitely going to be happening out here as we have a car off track. Carl Jacqueline driving through over the hills and through the woods to Grandma's house he goes. It is Thanksgiving time over here in America, so he's probably going to stop over there and see if anyone's barbecuing.
Yeah, it's not a great start to his day. We'll have to find out perhaps what happened there. We've got
look at that send by Ashton. Up the inside. That's a very ludicrous spot to try to overtake. The line is on the outside. I tested that overtake out a while yesterday in the Amateur Cup, and it's a very ludicrous spot. Try to do it. Everyone prefers that outside line, but if you just send it up in there, you do have a chance of Jack Ashton making it known that he isn't here to play nice, fun games with anyone else. He's trying to go for the win and get ahead of Cooper. He currently sits in P3, just a little bit behind Jason Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper's not been able to get away here. Delmont's doing a good job of sticking with him. And that gap around that sort of P6, P7 area is actually starting to come down a little bit too, so it's dropped down to about a second from around 1.5, so you could see the train form up again yet.
Delmont Cooper leads everyone back onto this crazy opening sector turns. I would say turn 1, 2, and 3, but it doesn't really feel like a 1, 2, and 3, honestly. As we honestly don't see this track a lot. As Al Emery going onto the outside, and that's Kellerman getting a position back up onto the inside into this braking zone. Is Al Emery going to send it up onto the inside? Yes, he does. Kellerman switchback attempt unable, blocked by Al Emery. Good battle for 17th place.
Yeah, there's some bold moves being made back here. And there's like 2 wide by 2 wide heading down into the hairpin there. Oh, I can see it's
It's Luke
Cooper.
Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper just got balked a little bit there. He had to
Woo-hoo-hoo.
get on the brakes.
Joe McDonald getting to the back of Kellyman, and he starts a little chain effect, getting tapped by, I believe that was Mick Ritchie.
We do have a partial overlay out here, but bump drafting on the infield isn't what I expected to see.
Yeah, that ain't the oval portion. Well, they did hit each other on the oval. It was just coming out of that curb. He not coming out of that turn. He did hit the curb and had to check up just a little bit. So it's a very tight track, I must say.
And we've got a slower car to the inside there.
That's McRitchie. I think he may have got to slow down.
He's got the momentum back up there, the asymmetric driver. And then they plunge down the hill around this banked corner.
Wonderful hairpin, I must say.
Yeah, it's a really technical section. This little outfield section here. I really enjoy driving it. It's good fun. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't get this track earlier. Actually,
It's a very fun track. Probably one of the most classic tracks on iRacing. It's not as priced as a full track since it's one of the original tracks on iRacing, so it's a bit cheaper than the other ones. So, anyone look for a track to buy and on a budget, this is a good one.
a great shot for the onboard here. You see just how close they have to cut it on the walls on the transition points there off the on and off the oval.
Yeah, you gotta have your setup just absolutely nailed down here, or else your car is just going to slide all over the place.
Just noticed, just back up the front, we've got a bit of a gap that's formed behind the front two.
Yeah, Brian J. Holmes leading out the rest of the pack as they're trying to chase down Cooper, Delmont, and Ashton up at the front. And those three are just off in a different world.
So while we're looking at that mid-pack battle, there's must have been something to sort of break up the momentum of those guys behind, because they were all quite close again before.
Here's Brian J. Holmes. I think he may have gone off track to get the pass right here. Up the inside, side by side he goes. Wonderful move going into the hairpin. And this is not a replay. This is happening again. Almost carbon copy of what we just saw.
So looks like these guys are having a good scrap. There's a few changes of position. Drivers got different strengths and weaknesses in different parts of the lap. You can see Baxter closing right up as we head back onto this infield section here.
Back onto the front straight. Trying to clip that wall as close as possible.
Whoa.
Almost a little bit too close to some eyes. A little bit of a late entry by Baxter as he's trying to follow Holmes in there.
This is a very calm start to proceedings compared to what we are used to seeing.
Well, it's it's not that much of a payoff track, so you take a risk. You don't have a lot of runoff to pay with. You got walls on either side, and you don't want to lose anything. And this track is very hard to pass in.
That's all right. I'm sure there'll be plenty of fireworks once we get
Speaking of fireworks, speaking of fireworks, here's Flying Tyler Maxson, known for his overtakes, and he's pretty much just stopped behind Joe McDonald. And he's only been able to gain about 6 spots. The biggest mover so far of this race is Nick McKieran, who's moved up 11 spots.
I think actually Luke Cooper's moved up 13. So yeah.
Yeah, he does.
He's done quite well.
Yeah, we saw Luke Cooper make an overtake earlier. Here's Charles Kellerman. Almost 3-way fight right now. Kellerman. Oh, he looked for an inside move on Maxwell. Is not going to have it.
Yeah, Emery kind of got had to lose a bit of momentum there as well. I was like, oh, he goes out and brushes the wall on the exit using all the road.
Yeah, I saw the particles spark up right there between the car and the wall. Maximizing every inch to get any bit of advantage, but I think he just had a little bit too much right there. Any ludicrous sense up the inside? No, there isn't. Jack Ashton.
Can see Tyler having a look into the hairpin there as well. Really, really close to getting into the back of McRitchie.
Sparkles sparkling, blinkers blinking, and we are loving it here in New Hampshire. A little bit of a spin up onto the inside. Oh, that's Charles Kellerman. Was he tapped from the back? Was he hit from the back? Oh, that asymmetric. Oh, that's unfortunate for Kellerman.
I think that was Emery.
No, it wasn't Emery.
Love tap there.
No, it was Emery.
Oh.
Matthew Emery.
I thought
you said Al Emery.
So these guys still having a good battle there. You can see McKieran as they headed down into the hairpin and up onto the outfield section here. He was looking quite aggressively to the inside. He had to pull out of that move at the last minute.
Ooh, Emery going a little bit wide off that curb. Here comes Nick McKieran going way wide. Maxwell and Emery going side by side. Who's going to have that inside line? Oh, it's getting very feisty. Tyler Maxon's also in that fight in the background of Tyler Maxon. Oh, and Cone gets absolutely murdered right there. Call his family. Meet him in the hospital. And back up ahead, McKieran on the inside, but flying Tyler Maxon sends up the inside. A big hit by Emery and Maxon. Maxon gets turned.
Oh, no.
Oh, he just gets ahead of Emery, and Matthew Emery comes back on track and taps the back quarter panel of Tyler Maxon. What a move that would have been if it would have worked out. Oh, that switchback on. Oh, it was McRitchie, not Emery. So McRitchie hit that inside curb and just didn't let off the throttle. It went straight into Tyler. As McKieran.
Kellerman
as hot tires.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's might be carrying some damage that we can't see, perhaps, or something. Either that or he's just not happy out there in this first race. A couple of moments already. So heading down to the last portion of the race here, and they're getting a bit feisty in the mid-pack, getting ready for these reverse grid races. Out front we've got Cooper and Delmont still quite close together. And here we are riding on with Holmes, looking back at Baxter. To be trying to get a move done before the race finishes here.
He's getting very close. Baxter giving him the Mazda treatment. Getting that front bumper up onto that gearbox.
A little bit of understeer there.
A little bit of understeer, a little bit of rallycross action. Then we go back onto the front straight for the final lap here in New Hampshire for race number 1. So, we have a car. Oh, that's Stuart Dick off in the road course. Let's go to the front 3 as we're on the final lap. Cooper leading by almost by a second.
Yeah, he stretched it out just on that last lap there. So Delmont might have had a little bit of a moment at some point. But these three have been pretty well behaved. We haven't seen too much of them at the front because the action's been further back in the pack in this one. But they've just been doing their thing out here and trying to get some of those valuable points before we head into the madness of the wheel. Cooper extending that gap now. Wants to stamp his authority on this first race.
Try to seal the championship as well. I believe he's leading it by 143 points right now. So he's going to add another 100 to the board. And Jason Cooper takes race number 1 of 4 and the final races of the BSR MX5 Pro Series. The final round, his rival Jack Ashton takes P3 behind him. As we got a big contact. Joe McDonald and Graham getting into each other, and Graham gets turned around Karma style. Who was that? What did you like, car? Sorry, I didn't like any of that. Oh, and he gets Stuart Dick at the line. Oh, Joe McDonald getting put into the wall hard right there. So temper's flying, but that was karma on a different level.
Yeah, well, it started off quite calm and well behaved, and then the last few minutes we saw it get a bit feisty, bit of argy-bargy out there.
Well, you know how this series usually goes. After race number 1, it all just goes downhill in a massive, crazy suit pile because we reverse the grades, and let's bring in Sammy to spin that wheel.
Well, we will spin that wheel. And here I was predicting an ice calm race. So we'll see what happens. Well, it is only going to be 25.
Top 25 will be reversed. Let's go through the results right now and show you who will be starting on pole. Jason Cooper takes the win in race number 1, followed up by Adam Delmont, Jack Aston, Brian J. Holmes, Steven Baxter, Ashley Beard, Alex Desmarais, Jamie Ayers, Adam McNally, Peter Van Gool, Carl Hardy taking the win in the amateur showdown class. He's followed up by Cesar Rizzo, Craig Jones, Ralph Gullingham, Kip Stevens, Luke Cooper, Abdul Al Emery, Nick McKieran in P18. Followed up in 19th place, Andy Maxwell, Steve Coley, Tyler Maxon, Joe McDonald, Matthew Emery, Marthu M.J. Sampson. Taking pole for next race is going to be Phil Regan. He's followed up by Rob Graham, Charles Kellerman, Benjamin Mias, Roy Virarchi, Jerome Erstam, Scott Malcolm, Stuart Dick, James McRitchie, Carl Jacquelet, Steve Hefford, and Niels Carlson. Finishing up at the end. I don't think he even... Yeah, those two did not start the race. So after a crazy... Well, a calm and then a crazy ending to race number 1, we are all prepped and ready to go for a wild and a just full-on wild and out race number 2. Brad, any closing words of race number 1?
It would appear that some of the guys maybe had some stimulants pre-race and they kicked things kind of towards the end there. So if that's the case, and they doubled down on another dose of those during the break, we're going to be in for some action in race 2. So yeah, stick with us. It's going to be worth checking out.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Coming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And we're back for race number 2 out of 4 here at New Hampshire for the BSR MX5 Pro Series. Phil Regan starts up on pole, joined by Martin J. Sampson, Matthew Emery, Joe McDonald, Tyler Maxson, Steve Cooley, Andy Maxwell, Nick McCurran, Abdul Al Emery, Luke Cooper, Kip Stevens, Ralph Collingham in P12, followed up by Craig Jones, Sar Rizzo, Carl Hardy, Peter Van Gool, Adam McNally, Jamie Ayers, Alex Cisney, Ashley Beers, Steve Baxter, Brian J. Holmes, Jack Ashton, and Adam Delmont, your top 24. Let's scroll through the rest of the names as the grid is being set up and getting ready to go for race number 2.
Not long to go. It's the tension's building after the end of that first race, and here we go. The lights are up already.
Maxson is starting for the pit lane as we're going racing green flag for race number 2 out of 4. Top 25 of last race reversed, so it's going to be a very interesting start with all the faster guys in the midfield right now. Good start, and Emery and Sampson already get turned around.
Yeah, it's not so much of a clean formation like last race. It's lots of 2 and 3 wide action.
Almost parking lot action in the chicane to get on there. Everyone just waiting for their turn, like the doors on Black Friday.
A few cars getting a little bit friendly, nose to tail action down through the hairpin there. Oh, well held by the Simlab driver Ayers there. He almost could have taken out half a dozen cars if that turned around then, so that was well done to control that.
So they're coming down the hill back onto the oval. It's another tight turn, so expect a lot of checking up, but these guys are not slowing down one bit.
We've got the Excite train there in the midfield. We're
So
3 wide.
Three wide, almost 4 wide down the front straight. Yes, we are going 4 wide heading into turn 1. Who's going to come out of this on its own? It's going to be the Simlabs driver taking the first jump, but then up onto the inside. I believe that, no, it's going to be the Simlabs driver of Peter Van Gool who won that little 4 wide battle ahead of Adam McNally. And Van Gool and McNally still going side by side. Gool up onto the inside, cuts the entire corner right there. Might get a slowdown for that. As, ooh, hard in the walls, Carl Hardy.
Might have got some help there, I think. And the excite drivers side by side here. Ashton trying to make his way forward.
Man, he's fighting for the
Beard just
championship
ahead.
right now.
Yeah, Beard's just trying to part the seas ahead of Ashton there for him. Gonna moves the car of Jones wide a little bit there.
Here comes Ashton. As, ooh, Stuart Dick spun around and driving the wrong way on the road.
It's, yeah, 2 races in a row where he's had significant damage on that car, so he won't be too happy.
Here comes Ashton, parting the seas right there, gets past his teammate, and getting past Jones. Good double move by Jack. Little bit of argy-bargy happening back there, though, as it looks like Jason Cooper's stuck with some hard times. Steve Cooley in the battle for seconds, got Joe McDonald all over his tail.
Reagan's been able to just check out there. He's built himself a nice gap for about 2 seconds.
Yeah, I believe year one only has 1 victory in the Pro Series, and that belongs to Tyler Maxton at Interlagos. And it looks like with 2-year... Oh! 2-wheel in action here by Steve Cooley, and he managed to keep P2. That's even the better part. What a save by Cooley. Joe McDonald going for the switchback. We're going to get a replay of this 2-wheel in action. Ladies and gentlemen, get your cameras out because this is some Robbie Gordon type stuff. Boom. And Joe McDonald gets around Phil Regan, and Luke Cooper gets ahead of Cooley. Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Cooley's stunt driving hasn't worked out so good for trying to keep the guys behind and protect Reagan.
Well, he did post in the chat before the race. I hate this track. Excuses in. So maybe he doesn't like that part, but he did, with that defensive maneuver, he did give his teammate Phil a big gap to P2. 3 seconds entirely, and we'll see if year one gets another victory for them today.
Oh, we see Emery and Cullinan.
Ooh, Emery almost used that bump to his advantage, trying to push Cullinan into it, and Ralphie did have to check up.
It's a pretty feisty start again here. Then a little bit of calm before the storm, perhaps. Now, we see it. Oh, that was very awkward there. McDonald ran wide and came back in to sort of rejoin the racing line. Really squeezed Cooley.
McDonald utilizing that inside patch. Stay ahead of Emery and Cullinan. Interesting thing about this hairpin, if you actually run wide, you're going to get a big speed up onto the other cars. It's like attack mode in Formula E. So if you want more speed going up that hill, take it wide and you can actually get a run on somebody. You're just going to have to risk somebody jumping down your inside.
Yeah, I think that little hairpin's actually got as much or more banking than the oval section because it's quite a flat track here.
I believe it has more actually.
So this is Baxter trying to get a move done on Cullinan.
Around the outside, can he hold it? Yes, he can get it. Yes, he does. Hey, move by Baxter.
Yeah, it's a fun section, that those little infield sections. They don't really look like much on paper, but they do present them some overtaking opportunities there. So you can kind of hold that outside into the next change of direction.
3
As we
wide,
see,
almost
looks
4
like 3.
wide on the road course. Heading into the hairpin. 3 wide. Switz Cooper Esports car. Getting it in there. And
Oh, no.
Kip Stevens is around.
Oh, I thought he was going to turn around across the nose of the other cars there, but fortunately there was a gap there for him to slide that thing through. Oh, the Excite car gets a bit of love from the SimLab driver behind. I think that's
That's Delmont.
McNally.
Yeah, Ayers and McNally getting a little bit too personal with each other. That is a dented rear end right there. I think we right on the nose of Jamie Ayers. We can see the massive dent that it has given Delmont, and he's going up on the inside right now, and he can make the move. He holds it around the outside, and what a move by Jamie Ayers! And I think he's going for another one on McNally. Nope, on Delmont. A little bit of a dive from the backfield. If you see that, that was Jason Cooper trying to close in on Jones.
Yeah, his progress this race hasn't been as quick as we may come to expect. He's up 8 places.
Jack Ashton, his rival, is up 14. Biggest mover right now is Steve Baxter, though. Here goes Ashton, looking for another move up onto the inside. It's a very risky place to overtake. Goes for the switchback, though. He's got the speed. Going onto the front straight, going all the way out to the wall. 15 spots up is Ashton.
Just while this midfield battle's happening, we don't need to cut to it, but just for those following along, we've got Reagan still out in front. He's still got a sizable gap, a reasonable gap over Cooper, followed by Cooley and Baxter. That's your top 4. But we're sticking with this midfield pack at the moment, because that's where all the action is.
Al Emery looking for that inside move, and here comes Jack Ashton for his switch back onto Al Emery. Sneak it past him up onto the apex, almost getting onto the grass. What a great move by Jack Ashton. He's still side by side with Al Emery as they're going back onto the oval. Al Emery has the inside line, heading onto the curb. Jack Ashton holds off, and Al Emery gets 2-wheeled action, and Jack Ashton going for the switchback now around the inside. He gets Al Emery to get up into P7. They got very wild right there.
Yeah, Maxwell running a bit wide there on the exit too.
And Regan and Cooper. Wow.
He's closed. He's closed quite a bit just on that last lap. So Reagan might have had
there may have been an off track or a curb.
Yeah, possibly a slowdown that we didn't pick up on. So things getting interesting at the front here as well. They've got a couple seconds behind though to Cooley, so it could just be a straight fight between these two guys. So year 1 versus...
Oh, Emery's got an incident. Emery, he's visiting the rocks, and he looks like he's spun going up the hill into the outfield. Oh, got tapped right there. He had a slide, he checked up, then he got tapped in the back end.
Yeah.
So a attempt at saving it was there, but unfortunately, him checking up was not broadcasted to the rest of the people. And it's Luke Cooper trying for the lead. So he goes up onto the inside of Phil Regan. Phil went to the outside. I think he's just let him by right there.
Yeah, it looked like he came in a little bit too deep there. Either that or he's not really worried about defending that lead, which may not please the guys at year 1. But Cooley's they're still trying to close this gap down. It has come down a little bit over that last lap, so we could see Cooley and Baxter close up on Reagan, perhaps, but Cooper's
Baxter.
gonna try and check out. Yeah, Baxter gets that move done.
Yeah, Steve Baxter making himself known. Swift Cooper Esports have 2 cars in the top 3. As that's Ashley Beard spun around in the outfield. What's happened here? Ashley Beard went for the inside. Jason Cooper got his way through there. That's Peter Van Gool up onto the inside. Oh, big hit.
Well, those cars immediately following there. We're lucky that gap appeared in the middle. You see them filing through. So back in the field.
Did we just pass a crash? Yep, we did. Andy Maxwell. Looks like he's got it into somebody else right there as he crashed it heading into turn 1. Was that Adam McNally that I hit? May have been. Carl Jacqueline also up 15 spots. He's been having a good race.
Yeah, Benjamin Mears is up 14 as well. Roy Vavaki up 13, so a lot of guys making some big gains. Baxter and Ashton tied on 18 at the moment. The gap at the front's come down toward Reagan and Baxter there again.
Baxter swinging onto the outside, trying a ludicrous move around the outside, gets into the back of Reagan, has to check up. He had the speed to make it count, but Reagan was there. But he's all over the gearbox of that MX5, swings onto the outside now. Who's going to be the last late breakers? Reagan wonderfully defended right there.
Yeah, he placed the car well on the hairpin there and just kind of didn't, force Baxter wide, but pretty much just only really gave him one choice of line there. He left him room, but compromised the exit from that up the hill, so made it easier to defend through this outward section. Riding on board with Baxter.
Oh, what that curb.
Yeah, get a good look at these bumps on the transition back onto across the oval onto the infield.
Oh, here comes Baxter. Baxter getting all the grip and out of that curb, and yes, he does get up into P2. Swift Cooper is definitely going to be happy about there. 2 cars sitting up in P1 and 2.
That's going to bring Ashton into play. You can see him in the back frame there. He's working his way up onto Reagan there.
He's got 2 laps to do it.
This could be another great drive from Ashton to try and seal a podium after starting way back in this field.
And it's going to get him a good point gap on Jason, because Jason, he's currently sitting in P12. And after winning race number 1, he's going to have a good gap, but I think that gap's going to go a bit negative after this race if Jack Ashley gets up into P3. Craig Jones going
running
slow.
Yeah. It was down near the hairpin. He might have got it a little bit out of shape down through there. He's had no momentum heading up the hill.
Here's Ashton. Very calm into P3. I think he got P3 coming out of the turn earlier, though. So I think Phil just let him by.
Yeah, Reagan hasn't seemed real happy with his car. Not confident. He hasn't really defended too hard with these guys coming through. But he's still, a top 5 is still a great result if he can hold on into that position.
Battle for front, though. Two teammates with each other. Luke Cooper and Steve Baxter going nose to tail.
So the final lap here too, I believe. So it's all to play for, but they won't want to tangle.
And it's going to be Luke Cooper taking the victory here today. Your podium, Cooper, Baxton, and Ashton as they finish out race number 2.
Yeah, some more battles heading through that last corner there. So it's a bit of a convoluted race there. We had a crazy start, a little bit of a calm after that, and then a few moments during the race. The field kind of stretched out more than that first race. We had a few drivers bunched up together here and there, but there were some bigger gaps through the field that time around.
Yeah, some bigger gaps. Some crazy racing still in the midfield. I believe those supplements you were talking about are just now kicking in for more drivers. Race number 3 should be very crazy. And to decide the grid, let's bring in Sammy to spin that wheel.
Right, the wheel is on the screen and it is spinning. Last time by it was kind of small. So let's see if we get something bigger. We do. It's -4.
All right. All right. That ain't a problem. It's going to be a
Back on
full
form.
grid -4 drivers. So let's bring in the results to see who is going to be starting on pole. Luke Cooper takes the win, followed up by Steve Baxter, Jack Ashton, finishing on the podium. Great drive by him. He's going to be moved down the field now. He's followed up by Phil Ring and Brian J. Holmes, Adam Delmont, Ralph Collingham, Steve Cooley, Jamie Ayers, Jason Cooper, finishing in P10. Joe McDonald, Alex Tierney, Tyler Maxton, Matthew Emery, Benjamin Mias, Roy Fiarke, Charles Kellyman, Adam McNally in P18. In 19 is Kip Stevens, Ashley Beard, Abdur Al Emery, Craig Jones, Carl Jacqueline, Andy Maxwell, Martin MJ Sampson, James McRitchie, Cesar Rizzo, Scott Malcolm in P28. And 29th is Jerome Ursum, Stuart Dick, Nick McCarron, Rob Graham, Steve Hefford, Peter Van Gool, Michael Berry, and Carl Hardy. Is there another guy after Carl? Nope. All right. So I think starting on pole, 32 cars finished this race. It doesn't say Steve finished. Or it's everybody finished on the same lap, but it says Steve, Michael, and Carl are like out, so I'm not going to. I don't know what's happened here. So, 2, 3. Steve Evers 2 left though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Scott Malcolm. Oh, Paul. We'll find out. We'll find out at the start of race number 3, which will be right after this break.
growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
We're almost out of fuel. You'll have to come in for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And we are back for race number 3 out of 4 here in New Hampshire. The wheel has spun a awesome -4, and it's Scott Malcolm taking the pole ahead of Cesar Rizzo, followed up by James McRitchie, Martin, MJ Sampson, Andy Maxwell, Carl Jacqueline, Craig Jones, Abdul Amory, Ashley Beer, Kip Stevens, Adam McNally, Charles Kellerman in P12. He's followed up by Rory Viarki, Benjamin Mias, Matthew Emery, Tyler Maxson, Alex Cesney, Joe McDonald, Jason Cooper, Jamie Ayers, Steve Cooley, Ralph Cunningham, Adam Della, and Brian J. Holmes, your top 24.
So just before we get this one started, a quick shout out to Phil Regan there. That was a smart drive in that previous race. We believe that was his first AM win, so that's why he wasn't trying to defend too hard there with those guys coming through. And we've got the lights about to go.
We are going green flag racing here in New Hampshire, and it's a great start by Rizzo. Gets a good jump on the outside of Scott Malcolm. They're going side by side, and the Sinlab driver going for a switchback on Malcolm right there. But it's going to be Malcolm leading him out onto the oval.
Oh, he ran deep onto the oval there.
One of the automatic cars almost getting sideways. Well, he did get sideways. A big crash. Tyler Maxson's in there.
Oh, Jack Ashton's in that.
Oh no, Jack is in there. Scott Malcolm's got turned around. Chaos has started. There's Rizzo. Both the leaders are out, and it's Carl Jacqueline for year 1 up ahead.
Well, a bit of a crazy start again.
And there's Tyler Maxson spun around in the hairpin.
Cars 2 and 3 wide here. There's a couple cars getting a not such a great run onto the infield. So cars getting a run on them, other cars going quite slow.
Oh, it's like a...
I think that's Ayers in the Sinlab car getting a big tank slapper run over the curb there. Hangs on to it.
Tank slapper, airborne, and just... Yeah! Type stuff going on. And Jamie Ayers still racing it out so close with each other as they head into the infield.
So there's still lots of 2 wide action as these guys trying to get sorted out. Oh, and then they've got another Sinlab car. Oh, just kept it off the wall and miraculously missed everyone from the looks of it. McKieran, I'm not sure if that was a good catch or luck, but either way, he'll take it.
I think there was a bit of eye closed to just holding the brake right there. I think we need a... If we can find the replay of it as... Oh my goodness! Big hit! Massive implications. Year 1 and Steve Baxter, winner of last race, and Steve Cooley get into each other. Back up front between Jacqueline and McRitchie.
Yeah, Jacqueline unable to get away. McRitchie got a good exit onto the oval there. Looking to the inside.
And McRitchie setting up onto the inside. Crazy battle for third right there between Ashley Beard, Maxwell Jones, and McNally. As Beard makes a great move. I was going to say, hey, let's try to catch that replay of the lap 1 incident and why Jack Ashton is all the way down into 24th place. So here's the start of the race. Oh, that... Ooh.
Yeah, he won't be happy about that one.
Definitely not. This is what happened to the leaders of Scott, Malcolm, and Rizzo. Malcolm around the outside, Rizzo up onto the inside. Malcolm gets a big slide, and he comes across. There was the 3-way collision for the lead.
McRitchie was lucky to come out of that.
Yeah, McRitchie sitting in first.
Cut to him. Yeah, he's pulled a bit of a gap on these guys, about 1.3 seconds over it's Baird that's now come through to take P2 away from Jacqueline. Can see a lot of different lines into that first corner.
It's so weird.
That's part of what makes this track so fun. It's some of those corners there's a lot of different lines people can take depending if they want to go deep on the entry or try and get a good run on the exit. And then you've got those changes of direction on those short infield sections and through here. So get that too wide action and try and hang it around the outside to get the inside for the next corner. So we see one of the Swift Cooper drivers doing exactly that.
That's Alex Cerny.
So he made a good move down into the hairpin there. He's made his way forward 12 places already in this race. So yeah, he's been able to survive the madness of the opening 3 laps or so and made up a lot of positions there. Here we go, McNally's looking to the inside of Jacqueline, heading down the straight. He's going to probably dive it in nice and early and get to the bottom here. I guess that moved done quite easily on the way in. Can he hold the momentum? Yeah, that's,
Yes.
Jacqueline gets a bit of understeer on the change of direction there, and now he's under pressure from McRitchie, who's got Zerny in tow. So it's a good battle up towards the front here, but this is allowing Baird to get away a bit. So yeah, we didn't quite see what happened there. McRitchie struck back from the lead into this battle, and it's now Baird that's out with a gap at the front.
I think McRitchie just got a little bit loose. May have had a slowdown penalty. So he sends it up the inside of Carl Jacqueline. Carl Jacqueline currently leading the amateur class, which is defined by the green and silver stripes next to the name. The silver stripe is the Amateur Showdown Championship. The green stripe is non-amateur showdown, as the gold stripes are pro showdown, as well as the blue stripes being a pro.
So it's kind of settled down a little bit here after a couple of laps scrapping, but you can see Ayres making a bold move down the inside of Stevens there. Stevens not too happy about it from the looks of it, because he's just right on the back of Ayres coming onto the oval. Just trying to have a look down into the hairpin here, but not quite close enough to make that move back. Ooh, this you can see Emery there going a bit deep on the brakes. Didn't quite get to the apex. It's allowed Ayres to get that move. Don't know, he's having a look anyway. You can see more of this great 2 wide action here, and then Emery gets the inside on the change of direction. Not such a great run onto the infield though. Ayres still looking for the momentum, not quite get the overlap through the infield section.
Jamie Ayres up onto the inside of Al Emery. He's got a great run. And here comes Jason Cooper getting very, very confident up onto the inside. It's a very big send on Al Emery. And yes, he's got it. And he's up to P9. And this is great news for him, because last time he only finished P10 as Jack Ashton finished P3. Jack Ashton's still sitting in 23rd place. Great news for the championship leader.
Oh, it's Stevens getting a little bit loose there, heading up the hill. He hung on to it. The Excite driver behind would have been happy to see him hold that one. So wow, Ayres, yeah, still making moves here. He's up to P7. 13 positions he's made now, tied with Alex Cerny for the biggest mover at the moment. Although Cooper's going to try and have something to say about that. He's up 11. Looking back from Cooper, we've got Emery and Jones, who are too wide there, but oh, the asymmetric driver cutting it real close there to the wall on the transition. One of the U1 drivers running wide there. I think that was Jacqueline, just touch wide on the exit of the hairpin there. Took out a few of the cones. And we've got Ayres and Maxwell side by side. Ayres again looking to the inside, making up another move. That's 14 positions now for him.
It's a passing machine, honestly. As the amateur second place driver of Andy Maxwell trying to close in on Carl Jacqueline, who's leading this little field. Year one got another victory in the amateur class, but they're trying to go for 2 right now as Carl Jacqueline is getting overtaken by Jamie Ayres. As Jason Cooper swings it around the outside. And wow, he made that work on Maxwell. And look who's coming by. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, Maxwell lost a bit of momentum there.
That could have gotten very dicey.
Yeah, it got a little bit clumsy there on the exit, but they managed to sort it out. But it's brought those guys back into this pack here, which is getting tighter and tighter, as we can see. Jones, Emery, Mears, Holmes, Cullinan, they're all almost nose to tail heading down through the outfield section here. Too wide heading. Oh, that's one of the Excite drivers getting that move done. That's Holmes. So a good mix of teams here in the infield, in this midfield battle too. Got all teams represented just here in this little train.
Jason Cooper up to P6. Jack Ashton not in the top 20 yet, still sitting in 21st. It's behind Tyler Maxson and his teammate. Nope, Tyler Maxson and Luke Cooper.
Yeah, Luke could be trying to hold him back there to help Jason out, perhaps. And more too wide action on the outfield here. But Delmont, getting back into single file as they head down back onto the crossover of the oval onto the infield. There's that change of direction there that can set up moves. Not quite being able to hold that too wide there, but we have seen it plenty of times already throughout the races tonight. Oh, and Cooper gets it done on Ayres up ahead. I've just noticed on the timing screen as well.
Benjaminus got caught out right there as Adam Delmont gets around him. There's a chance he can send it up onto the inside of this braking zone. Is he going to try to? He currently looked for it. Collingham definitely tried it around the outside of Kip Stevens. And they're still side by side.
Yeah, that's one of those classic hold around the outside and then get the inside. And he gets it done easily down into the hairpin there. Stevens, it's not great momentum, and Cullinan got the move done easy. He's got Kellerman all over him now. Oh, Mears, that's a bold move down the inside.
Yeah, he's got to deal with Craig Jones. Craig Jones had to brake very hard. That's one of the corners on this track where the inside line is not the fast line, because he got that curb up onto the inside. If you want to get the room around to the guy to the outside, you're going to have to check up, or else you might want to visit on that curb. I know from experience, it's not fun.
So lots of positions being changed throughout this midfield again. It's a lot tighter than what we saw last race. There's not as many gaps forming. You can see that train of cars in that shot there, all filing down through the hairpin. Again, too wide with Stevens, and back up the front, Baird and McNally doing battle. So McNally's been able to get up and over the top of his teammate Baird. So looking at an Excite 1-2 there at the moment. They'll be happy with that. And Alex Ernie is the best of the Swift Cooper Esports drivers. 14 positions he's gained. Jason Cooper and Jamie Ayres, Brian J. Holmes, all those drivers have advanced 14 positions during this race. So great job by all of those.
Definitely great job indeed. As Beard leading out this race. It's an Excite 1-2. And I'm pretty sure they're very happy about that one. Good points for them. As Alex is just closing in on them just slowly. He's already up 14 spots as we see Outdoor Al Amray getting very crazy. Almost a car going off the track. That's Maxwell and Delmo.
Maxwell getting the hip or the shoulder out there and kind of showing Delmont where the grass is on this on the outfield section there. Delmont able to hang on for it. He's
a little bit too aggressive, and here comes Delmont.
So,
and he's going to swing it around side, and he might actually go onto the grass right here and say, I know where the grass is, and I can use it to my advantage. And he's in P10.
So Al Emery is looking to the inside down here in turn 1. He's had an up and down race. He's made a few positions and lost a few, and made a few again. And he's down 5 from where he started. Obviously, reverse grid. So he hasn't caused him too much pain. 3 wide into the hairpin. Gets pinched in the middle there.
Ooh. So back end got very crazy. It's still sliding as he's going uphill.
Yeah, it's not the best way to get momentum up the hill, but it's better than turning it around and blocking the track there, though. So well done to hold on to that. Battling super hard in the mid pack here, but we're just about to wrap this one up. And Baird has been able to come through on McNally to take this win. So unfortunately we missed that while we're looking at that battle, but Baird comes across the line, just McNally in tow, and they seal the 1-2 for Excite. Cooper across in 3, Zerny in 4th there. So that was a change for position right towards the end there too. Cooper being able to make his way up onto the podium.
Yeah, Craig Jones unfortunately getting caught out right there. And yeah, that's extremely unfortunate for him because he was running at a good spot. Jason Cooper gets into P3. It looks like Craig got caught out. He's behind Kip Stevens right now. And, did he get tapped by Ashton?
That might have been just a small tap, but the way...
okay.
Not so small,
more than
perhaps.
Small.
But yeah, when the car's loaded up, really leaning on that left-hand side there, it doesn't take much, but that was certainly more than enough to turn that car around.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Craig Jones. Everybody who finished this race finished on the lead lap. So let's bring Sammy in here to spin that wheel.
Okay, and I think this might be the final time of the season as well.
It is the last time of the season, so we're going to make this one special.
Let's get 50, let's get 50. Okay, Phil, don't let me down. It's very close to 45, but it is not. It is full -4.
Can we just say full grid just for the heck of it?
I don't think they would like it.
Well,
We
Still,
tried
that's
grabbing
pretty
the
good.
wheel. It didn't work out. So full -4, just like this round. No, wait. Yeah, it was. Let's bring up the results to see who starts on pole. Ashley Beard takes the victory, followed up by Adam McNally, Jason Cooper in P3. He's followed up by Alex Cesare, James McRitchie, Jimmy Ayers, Matthew Emery, Carl Jacqueline, Brian J. Holmes, Adam Delmont, Andy Maxwell, Benjamin Mias, Ralph Colham, Adur Al Amory, Tyler Maxon, Kip Stevens, Charles Kellerman, Luke Cooper, MP18. He's followed up by Jack Ashton, who unfortunately couldn't close in on Cooper. And I think that may have sealed off the championship right there, giving Jason the victory. Jack Ashton sits at P19. Joe McDonald in 20th. Stephen Baxter, Nick McCurran, Stuart Dake, Martin MJ Sampson, Roy Viarki, Jerome Ursum, Phil Regan, Rob Graham in 28th. He's followed up by Steve Heffer, Cesar Rizzo, Craig Jones, Peter Van Gool, Steve Cooley, Michael Berry, Scott Malcolm, and Carl Hardy. And taking pole, Steve Hefford. So, for the last time of the season, we're going to be right back to race under the lights here in New Hampshire right after this break.
growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
We're almost out of fuel. You'll have to come in for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And we are back for the BSR MX5 Pro Series for the final race of the season. Oh, 143 races down. And here we are for the 144th green flag drop. And the feels. Giant season coming down to an end. Steve Heffer takes pole, followed up by Rob Graham, Phil Regan, Jerome Ursa, Roy Viarkey, Martin MJ Stamson, Stuart Dick, Nick McCarron, Steve Baxter, Joe McDonald, Jack Ashton, and P11, joined by Luke Cooper, Charles Kellerman, Kip Stevens, Tyler Maxton, Abdur Al Emery, Ralph Cunningham, Benjamin Mias, Andy Maxwell, Adam Delmont, Brian J. Holmes, Carl Jacqueline, Matthew Emery, and Jamie Ayers, your top 24 drivers. And for the last time, the 5 red lights are coming on, and we're green flag racing here in New Hampshire. It's a great start by Hefford, already very far away from Rob Graham and Regan, and he's got a good gap.
Yeah, that was a great jump by Hefford. It's almost like he had a rolling start and just took off from everyone. But nose to tail, nose to tail.
No, we got caught upside down. I believe that's that is he just gets told back. But I think the amateur champion Benjamin Mias also got caught up in there. He did. He already has the title, so I think he's happy about that.
I think that was Baxter.
Oh! It was Baxter, as Tyler Maxton takes a big old slide, as another Excite car takes a slide onto the outside into the grass. Carnage in the final race of this year.
Yeah, well, everyone wants to get a good result in this last race, but it looks like they've been sipping on the energy drinks in that break, come out with a lot of attitude for this final race. So strap yourselves in. We're in for a bit of a finale here.
Well, you can go hard or you can go home, and these guys are all going hard right now in the final race, trying to get all the points that they can, and just go out with a bang. And so expect some sparks to fly, some blinkers to blink, and we already saw our car flipped over. What has just become Monster Jam?
Peter Van Gool is up 16 spots already.
We got a car. That's Cesar Rizzo off into the grass.
A few drivers looking like they're heading out for an early picnic in this one. But yeah, crazy. Peter Van Gool's up 16 positions in 2 laps.
Wow. Well, he did have that massive incident at the start with basically a car flipped over and causing a massive parking lot, which was Steve Baxter, who was on his roof. We can get a replay of that, because that was insane.
Yeah, I can see Baxter there on track, actually.
Yeah, he's back out on track. A lap down, but he's back out on track. And
it's looking like it's a bit lighter than what it was when he started this race.
Just misses the hood. Nick McCarron ahead of Phil Regan, sitting nicely in P4.
So they've settled down a little bit at the front. Hefford and Graham pretty much got a bit of a gap out front there. And we see Cooper looking down the inside of Samson, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Race 2 winner making up some ground now, sitting in P7, and he's now behind Jack Ashton, who's in P6, and he's looking up the inside of Regan.
Using all of the curb on the inside there.
Oh, here comes Cooper as well. Cooper and Regan going side by side. I think Cooper's going to hold this around the outside, or actually, no, Regan's just going to break earlier for him.
So yeah, Regan and Sampson in that fight for the AM lead there again. So yeah, Regan will be trying to fend Sampson off to get a double win. That'll be a great result for him if he's able to do it.
Ooh.
And that's Zerny tumbling down the timing screen there.
Yeah, he's got nowhere to go.
Oh!
Watch out, watch your relatives, man. Plus I had a Scott Malcolm. And here's Rizzo getting to the back of Malcolm. But Malcolm trying to hold it around the outside of Cerny.
Mind you, this battle's for 32nd position, so
I don't think they care.
These three guys. So it's fierce battling all the way through this field.
Oh yeah, a little bit of callback from the lead. On race 3, they did hit each other at the start.
So again up the front, Steve Hefford, he's just cleared out with that fantastic start he had, and he's just extended it out to a touch over 2 seconds over Rob Graham, and he has cleared the field as well. Those other guys have been fighting it out behind, and Stuart Dick is 3.5 seconds behind Graham, and he's got a little bit of clean air as well, as these guys are fighting it out to sort out the rest of the top 5. Cooper down the inside on McKieran, forces him offline there, gets that job done into 4th. He's up 8 positions, and we've got Ashton working on McKieran now too, so he'll be feeling like there's no let up. He's aggressive over the curb on the inside, bouncing over that through the hairpin, working his way up onto the outfield section here.
Yeah, he's falling behind McKieran right now. Going to try a move, maybe try to go on that outside line, maximize his speed up onto the exit. Has a little bit of a run. He's going to wait about it. Maybe set him up for turn 1. Almost gets to the back of McKieran, actually. Here's Mario MJ Sampson. He's got the best seat in the house. Great fight ahead of him. Going a little bit off track.
So Sampson's been able to make his way past Regan for that AM lead there. Regan won't be too happy with that, but I'm sure he won't be too displeased with a 1-2 in the AM class over those races tonight. So still a solid job that he's doing there. See Ursum, Ayres and Emery sort of making their way up on him, so could be some more positions in the overall there that he may lose. And checking in on Peter Van Gool, he's now up 19 positions, so he's made up a few more positions. Not too far behind these guys, just in this next battle pack. He's trying to get the move done on Stevens.
Yeah, Kip is just holding his ground right there. Good old pack of 3 right behind him. See Baxter also right there.
And Jason Cooper with the fast lap last time round too, 1:11.61. So
Insane.
P16 is up 11 spots. So yeah, he's been able to make some. Whoa, you might be able to make up a few more here as the guys start tripping over each other in front of him, and it's getting nice and tight heading down the front stretch here.
It's going to get dicey heading into turn 1. Stevens in the middle. Peter Van Gool up onto the inside. Side by side they go. They avoid touching each other. Stevens hit the curb, and Van Gool makes the move into P12. And Kip Stevens tries to go for the switchback. Didn't sell an inside move, but now he did go on to the inside, holding Van Gool onto the outside of the track. Now it's the inside.
Yeah, Cooper
Heading
looking down the inside behind there as well. Gets the move done on Holmes. Oh, Holmes coming back though. Got a great exit out of the hairpin, but Cooper holds the inside. Yeah, he gets that move done for the transition across the oval. Oh, Van Gool getting out of shape on the infield there. Just manages to hold it up. Oh, and that's Jones, is it? Oh no, McRitchie,
James
sorry.
McRitchie.
Yeah, getting out of shape in the asymmetric car. So the guys are pushing hard in this midfield battle there. You can see Van Gool getting out of shape there as well. And then McKieran's had a moment through that section too. So plenty happening in this last race of the season.
See what's happened to the Simlabs car. Side by side with Ashton. And gets a little bit of tap, and just turned into him.
Oh, those other cars did well to avoid as well there. And here we go back on this battle. Gould out the front of this pack. Cooper's been able to make his way through towards the front of this pack now. After getting that job done on Holmes, Stevens and McRitchie drop back behind. We've got the wounded Baxter still following along there, but he's not really in this battle, but he's just out there to have some fun and close out the season.
Nah, he's someone not to give up. Just having fun, driving in the pack, not really impacting everyone else. Very unfortunate that that's happened to him at the start of the race.
Yeah, off camera we've had a few people head to the lane. Saw McNally in there, he took a tow.
Cooper! Up the inside, right up onto the
McRitchie.
curb.
McRitchie is given the shoulder straight into Stevens there as well.
Yeah, my focus at the front of that pack has Peter Van Gool and Jason Cooper going side by side. And Cooper held him off in the braking zone to jump up into P12. Up 19 spots.
Holmes with the run out there too. He's going to be looking to the inside. Van Gool tries to go defensive and pinch him down, but three wide.
And Cooper held it around the outside right there.
Oh, this is great racing. It's a little bit nerve-wracking to watch, but yeah, very entertaining. This guy's putting on a great show to send the season off in style.
Given all of us here on the iRacing Esports Network. Oh no! Van Gool gets turned around! And he saved it. Little 360, kept it out of the wall, and he continues on. And he cut me off right there, but these guys are giving us here on the iRacing Esports Network a great show.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. I'm sure he's not happy about it, but definitely could have been worse. Now, I'm sure Baxter won't cause him too much trouble there to try and let him back through. But yeah, up the front here we've got Ayres Duke and Emery, is it? Sorry, Ayres Sampson.
Big hit. Sampson got tapped hard by Emery.
Oh, and that's going to let Reagan through for the AM lead again. And it looks like Sampson's got some damage from that too.
Rob Graham is leading the amateur drivers. He's in second. He's in the amateur showdown.
Yeah, the showdown threw me off there. Sorry about that, but yeah, some fierce battling in that sort of second group behind the leaders. Yeah, Sampson's just trying to get down the Ursum. holding it around the outside. McKieran gets that. Osum gets that job done on Samson. Sorry, and McKieran's just up ahead in this SimLab car. So yeah, there's a little bit of contact on that through here. It's just broken that pack up, unfortunately.
It definitely has. I believe Stuart Dick is trying to make a move on Jack Ashton. Nope, he's got Jimmy Ayers on him. This is the battle for 5th.
So yeah, Ayers is now the biggest mover after Van Gool had that little bit of contact. Ayers is up 18 positions, and Emery following a little bit behind him is up 16.
Ooh, a little bit of a dive by Ayers. And Dick cut off his nose right there. Very tasty battle right here with 2 laps to go. Here in New Hampshire, getting all the way out to the wall.
Yeah, Ayers looking to the inside, trying to get a run on the exit here, but Dick did a good job there. He got the car out of the hairpin, up over the crest, and he dives down quite defensive on the entry.
Oh, got the door open.
Kind of invites Ayers to have a look. Ayers looking pretty chilled and comfortable there in the cockpit.
So we have 1 last lap to go here in New Hampshire. Stuart Dick leads out Ayers and Matthew Emery. Here goes Ayers. Try for that outside move around. Can he try to get into turn 1? He gets to the side, but he can't make it happen. But on the switch, he gets into the side of Stuart Dick. And that is going to get Matthew Emery up into P5.
Yeah, he has a lot of momentum heading down through the mid corner there, and unfortunately Dick just did not get a good exit, and I think it caught Ayers out a little bit there. I don't think that was intentional. It was just a big speed differential on the exit.
Yeah, definitely a giant speed differential.
And it looks like he's suffered quite a bit of damage there. He's into the inside of the hairpin. There's a whole stream of cars file their way past. So back up front, Hefford coming through to take. Oh,
he ran out of fuel.
Wow.
Did he just run out of fuel?
Which is, yeah, I think so. Either that or he's being very, very friendly with Graham, and Graham comes through to take the race win.
Yeah, his last lap was 3 seconds slower than Graham's. What just happened?
I'm not sure. There's so much going on this last lap.
He might have got a slowdown, as Peter Van Gool's just going to slow down as much as he can. What just happened?
And yeah, there was a couple of Excite
takes
cars.
The victory.
Looked like a couple of Excite cars almost getting together on the infield there on the last lap too. So.
All right, we're on board with Hefford. He did not just blow his engine in the final quarter. Okay, I thought he did. Okay, he tried to coast it to the victory. Alright. Alright.
Yeah, he definitely still had fuel.
He may have got a slowdown penalty. He may have got a slowdown penalty. I thought he blew his engine or something.
Well, you can see the guys with some crazy celebrations there on the outfield.
Celebrating with style right here.
It's a long, long season come to an end. 144 races these guys have survived. Well, some of them have survived. Most of the races, and a great show.
I think everybody has been involved in at least one incident.
So yeah, unfortunately, Baxter was the one that suffered early in that one, ending up on his roof or cage at the hairpin in that opening lap. But some great action.
I believe we're going to
A
get
good
a
way.
little bit of salute from the guys right here. There's that T-posing Marshall again, showing off his strength.
So yeah, all the drivers here in the BSR MX5 Pro Series putting on a great show to round out the long season that they've had, and SimLab drivers getting together here on the start finish with some team celebrations.
I think they practice this. As let's read through the results. Rob Graham takes the victory for Team Automatic Knockhill. He's followed up by Steve Hefford, Luke Cooper, Jack Ashton, Matthew Emery, Jimmy Ayers, Phil Riggin, Nick McKieran, Jason Cooper, Jerome Urson, Brian J. Holmes, James McRitchie, Tyler Maxon, Martin, MJ Sampson, Kip Stevens, Craig Jones, Charles Kellerman, Carl Jacqueline, and P18. In 19th, it's Adam Delmont, Ashley Beard, Andy Maxwell, Peter Van Gool, Ralph Collingham, Joe McDonald, Steve Cooley, Michael Berry, Roy Fiarchi, and Stuart Dick in 28th. He's followed up by Benjamin Mia, Scott, Malcolm, Carl Hardy, Steve Baxter, Alex Cesare, Cesar Rizzo, Adam McNally, and Abdur Al Amri. And 36. And wow. The season is over.
It was a very different style racing we saw this week compared to Philip Island last week too. Last week was all about the slipstreaming battles and the 1/100th kind of gaps across the line. But here it was all about the two wide action through the outfield and those infield sections and positioning yourself ready for the next apex and the change of direction. So yeah, it's a very different style of racing from last week, but equally as entertaining.
Yeah, we got a load of people ready for the interviews. So, which one do you want to have first?
Not sure. I think Craig Jones had quite an eventful day.
All right, so let's bring Craig Jones into here. Howdy, Craig. How are you doing?
Yeah, well, I'm good. Good evening's racing yet again. Few little issues for me, but overall very clean. It was interesting to watch some of the battles up front as well.
Yeah, I had a very eventful day. Started race 4, we had a car end up on his roof, and were you caught up in that incident at all?
Race 4 was a little bit problematic. So it was probably one of my best races of the evening, actually, because I started in 31st, I think it was, and ended up, I think it was 16th. So I managed to get through the field a little bit from some overtaking, but the majority of it was just the carnage that was unfolding in front of me, which was great for me, but not so good for the drivers involved. The first lap incident looked like a big pile up. I know my own teammate ended up rear-ending me as well, not braking in time for that. But yeah, I think I gained quite a few positions just from that one incident.
Yeah,
It's
it's Brad in the booth here as well, Craig. We're just looking at the onboard for your car from that lap, and you've made up a whole bundle of positions with that pile up in the hairpin.
And then all the other crazy stuff as well. Cars going off track, being flipped over. Yeah, I just remember we had a very wild time in the opening parts of this race.
It was classic race 4, wasn't it? Especially last race of the season as well.
Yeah. And at the end of the season, I would like to say, well, you survived the season. What was your favorite memory of the season?
Oh, it has to be me getting lost, doesn't it? I think that's pretty much everyone's highlight of the season, was me going round the wrong way, going down the wrong track at Silverstone. They've a lot of the lads certainly haven't let me forget.
Yeah, I believe you said the same thing to me, and said you would fire me if I ever brought it up, so I'm not going to bring it up. But you brought it up this time. Yes, it was hilarious.
You know what? It happened. At the time, I was just remember trying to get a good start and just looking for an apex. I found an apex. It just so happened it was the wrong one.
Well, it sounds like you enjoyed this season very much. Any last words to say? And anyone want to shout out?
Just a shout out to my teammates. It has been a fantastic season. It's been made better by the company that I've kept. Yeah, really good fun. Lots of ups and downs, but looking forward to next season. And finally, a thank you to you guys as well in the commentary booth and for the visuals. It's a really great broadcast to watch back.
All right. Well, thank you. You have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we find you next season.
Thank you.
That was Craig Jones. Brad, I think you're going to get Scott. Let's get Adam McNally in here.
Hi Adam, welcome to the booth. Looked like you had a pretty eventful series of races here this evening. Particularly
Definitely.
that last one. I did see off camera you took a tow to the pits there in the last race. Like a few other drivers that didn't seem to go too well. But yeah, how was the races for you and just your season overall? Your thoughts on the whole season?
Season's been mega. Just got to shout out to all of our drivers. Done an excellent job throughout the season. I think we're barring protests and the penalties, we've won the championship so far. I mean, I blew my engine in that last race. I was devastated. But then to see a Cooper car also finish 2 laps down sort of brought it back up again. But I mean, the points difference between us two all season has just been mega. I mean, to come into the final race of the season with 79 points between us, 5 drivers each team, was it 36-week season? It's insane.
Yeah, there's been a good bit of rivalry from what I've seen while I've been on the broadcast the last three weeks, but for the most part it's quite respectful between the teams from what I've seen, and it must bring another layer of strategy and enjoyment to the season to have that kind of team aspect. Is that something that you really enjoy?
I see that adds a bit more stress as well, but yeah, it's been great. Like I said, got a great team, couldn't ask for a better team. We all get along great. Had some excellent battles with the Cooper lads and the SimLab lads, like pretty much everyone in the field. So we couldn't ask for a better championship, really. How long it's been going, it's just battling's been so close every race weekend. It's been swapping in top between first and second all the time, and like big congratulations to Jason Cooper as well for winning the championship. Done a mega job, deserved it. And also, like I said, the Swift lads and SimLabs lads and everybody else on their grid. Just big, massive well done.
And just your thoughts on New Hampshire. It's not a track that we see pop up too often on many of the official series, but it certainly provided some great racing here tonight.
Oh, the racing's been great around here. It's been a mega track. Been a bit scary as well, obviously, just wanting to try and finish the races. But like I said, it's always great when it's like that and bunched up. It's very rare you can make a pass, and if you do, it's got to be a committed move. So I really enjoyed the track. Like I said, bar me race 4, blowing the engine.
Well, perhaps not the end to the season that you were looking for in the last race, but yeah, congratulations on your results throughout the year, and obviously we hope to see you back next time. Anyone you wanted to give a shout out to before we sign off?
Yeah, you guys for broadcasting all season, done a mega job. To all the admins behind the scenes who put all the hard work in day and night to sort the league out. To our drivers for turning up every week, putting in a mega job. And then also our sponsors, we've got Excite Energy, we've got Motorsport Days Live, Prio Premature Baby Foundation, the Racing Mentor, LuxSim 24 and the SG UK. And like I said, hopefully that's it. We've got a championship under our belt, and What more to ask for?
No worries. Well, congratulations from all of us here at Apex, and enjoy that result with your teammates, and we'll see you next year.
Right, thank you very much.
So that was Mr. McNally from the Excite Energy team, and still got a couple of drivers in the booth here. Looks like we'll grab in Scott, Malcolm, and Austin can have a chat to him.
Yeah, I totally didn't mute myself right there.
Oh, jeez.
Welcome, Mr. Malcolm. How are you doing?
Oh, absolutely brilliant.
How was that final race of the season for you?
I was just glad to get it home. Had a bit of a disaster in the third race, but it's all about the team.
All right. Well, we went through 144 different races through the season. What has been your most favorite memory of this season?
Oh, God. You want me to go through all 144 races?
Because it's a favorite memory. Like, we all have Craig's memory of just getting lost.
I think it's going to be Kay's memory getting lost. I think that's the biggest laugher.
He told me not to bring it up again, and we just immediately brought it up. All right.
Of course I'm going to bring it up. It's Craig.
It's amazing. Well, what you been overall happy with the season?
Yes. We had a plan and it worked out. And we got the team championships. That's what we wanted. We wanted the championship teams. That was all we were interested in. If we could have helped Cal get the top spot in the championship, then fair enough. But I think we agreed that we wanted the team championship, so we got it.
All right. Well, before we let you go, anything anyone want to shout out?
It's got to be all the result guys. They've done absolutely brilliant this year. Few ups and downs, but we got there at the end. You guys for putting on such good broadcasts, and everybody else that's racing this series. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been a wonderful pleasure having you in this series as well. Well, thank you, Scott. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day and enjoy the break.
Yeah, I'm away to have a couple of beers now.
sounds like a great great way to relax. All right, that was Scott Malcolm. Let's bring in our final interview, Mike Berry.
Good evening, gents.
Howdy.
How are we all doing?
You know, smiles all around us, having a good time. Just remembering this insane season.
Yeah, it's been a really good year. There's been some absolutely brilliant racing. I mean, Jason and Jack in the pro side of it, pretty awesome against each other. So yeah, and in the AMs it's been the same. So it's been a really good season.
It definitely has been a good season. I do remember a lot of probably my favorite moments commentating has been from this season. Any special memories from here?
Yeah, I mean, racing-wise, it started really well for me at the start of the season. Then I sort of came into some difficulties with some heart problems and everything, so ended up being out for a good 15 weeks, which is sort of season and a half, which is no good. So that's why I'm on here, basically, guys. I've got a couple of trophies, one for my favourite pro for the season, and I've also got a trophy for my favourite AM for the season, and both guys getting $30 worth of iRacing vouchers. And it's just my way of saying thank you after all the shit that I'd been through, excuse my French, but the heart surgery and everything, and all the guys, you know, from Steve Hefford at SimLab to Brian Holmes at Excite, you know, the guys throughout the whole of the BSR league have been absolutely brilliant and supportive. So I've got a couple of trophies to give away, guys.
Well, that's very nice of you. Glad you give back to the community as much as well you give into it in the support. So glad you're feeling better and glad you're back into the car.
Yeah, it's good to be back, Austin. It's good to be back. Thank you. So I'll get on anyway with these trophy business. I've got to go start with the AMs. The AM was really close in the end. It was a toss-up between Carl Hardy, my teammate, and Carl Jacquelet. And I went with Carl Jacquelet in the end. The amount of time that he's made up on track, his track awareness, his defending, you know, his speed and the pace that he's picked up, his racing line has been absolutely brilliant. So Carl Jacquelet is my AM for the season, guys.
Well, congrats to Carl Jacquelet. I know he's I know he's a great guy on and off the track. And let's go on to the pro.
Pro, you know, you could have picked out the hat. There were so many people that raced really, really well this season, you know, let alone Jason Cooper and Jack the Titanic Ashton. I mean, them two had some amazing fights. But there was loads of guys down the chain, you know, Jamie Ayres raced really well. Ash Beard towards the end of this season has come on leaps and bounds. But my pro for the season has been the guy that I think his defending has been absolutely brilliant. And his improvement throughout the season, I think his road awareness, taking his apexes, and mainly on his defending his position, has got to go to Adam Delmont.
Good choice. I was saying Adam Delmont is always up there. He's always in the conversation. And
yeah, I mean, there's so many streams I've watched where he's racing a couple of the Cooper guys behind him, and those guys are quick. But he's kept him at bay, and he's won races. He's been in the top three many a time, and he's been under the radar a little bit, I think, this season. But definitely been my driver of the season, Austin.
it's a good candidate for driver this season, and it's a great choice by you. So thank you for passing those trophies out to your favorite pro and amateur. I'm pretty sure they're going to greatly appreciate that.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much, Austin, Brad, Summerlee. Thank you very much for all your support throughout the season and some great streaming, guys. And I look forward to coming across you next season, hopefully.
All right. Well, we'll see you then. Before you leave, anyone want to shout out?
Yeah, to all the guys on Result Clothing, brilliant team. Thoroughly enjoyed them. And to the Excite guys who are moving on to bigger and better things, it's been a pleasure racing with you, and I've known these guys for some of them for 3 or 4 years. So good luck with all the future endeavours that all the drivers take.
All right. Well, thank you, man. You have a great night, and we'll see you next season. And I believe we have time for one last interview of the day, so let's bring in Mr. Benjamin Mias.
Hi, Benjamin. Brad in the booth here.
Hello.
What a crazy way to wrap up this long season. How did you find the racing tonight here at New Hampshire, and I guess some thoughts on the season overall?
Yeah, I love this track, to be honest. Really great to take my championship title. Yeah, I mean, I love this track. It's like a mini Nordschleife, in my opinion. Go up and down, and then you have like this really fast stuff, slow stuff. I mean, I love this track. Really. I had to focus on getting my championship in, so I took it a bit carefully, but that's just how it goes, I guess.
Well, it's I mean, it always pays to play it smart towards the closing stages of a championship if you're battling for one. So there's definitely no shame in doing what you need to get the victory. So congratulations on that. I'm sure you and your team Automech teammates will be quite thrilled with that result. Just how have you found working with the team throughout the year?
Yeah, I love these guys. I mean, it's always good banter going. We don't take it too seriously, but in the end, I mean, I took it seriously. I tried to do my best. I improved a ton this season. So, I mean, I've got them to thank. I've got the fast people in the league to thank. I've got you guys to thank. I mean, it's been a great season.
Yeah, I mean, we just heard from Barry just before, and it seems like there's a good sense of camaraderie amongst all the drivers, regardless of team. And it's just another great aspect of the sim racing community. Sort of help each other through some different issues and a bit of a release from the pressures of other things that are happening in life. So it's always great to be part of a team and a league like that to release a little bit of that pressure, have some fun on track, but at the same time you can still take it reasonably seriously. And there's obviously a competitive side to what we do here on the service. So it's good to see a good sort of culture in amongst the league. There's definitely some entertaining racing tonight. I was just remarking earlier about how the racing style here at New Hampshire was so different from Phillip Island last week. So the track selection through the series really spices the racing up with a different style of racing compared to the slipstreaming we saw last week, and then sort of the side-by-side battling with the change of direction here. Is there a particular style of those tracks that you prefer over one, over the other?
Yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, Phillip Island. I mean, there was a little bit of slipstreaming going on, but on the other hand, it felt a bit like this, like a real track, short, spicy, and you get lots of side by side. I don't like it personally when slipstream becomes involved too much because I'm not that good in slipstream games, but that's something to learn, I guess. It all has its charm.
And we just caught your view of the craziness in the last race at the hairpin on lap one there, where you basically had to park it because you had Baxter upside down right in front of your car.
Yeah, that's unlucky, but I mean, I wanted to make it a glorious race, but sadly I couldn't, so I just drove. Like it was my last anyway, so let's go.
Yeah.
Taking it down anyway.
No problem. Well, thanks for joining us in the booth here, and congratulations on the result. And just any last shout outs before we sign off?
Yeah, definitely want to thank all my teammates at Team Ultimate Knock Hill. Also, Ultimate Knock Hill, our sponsor, ultimateknockhill.co. I want to thank you guys for the great stream and the commentary. I also want to thank Jamie Ayers because he does a ton of work behind the scenes to get this thing going. So kudos to all you guys, and thanks for organizing.
Not a problem. We've enjoyed covering it. Even though I've only been here the last few rounds, but it's certainly been entertaining, and look forward to seeing more of the racing next year.
Great. Thanks, guys.
And that was the amateur champion Benjamin Mias joining us here in the booth, and I think it's time to wrap it up. And what a great way to wrap up a wonderful, wonderful season. Sammy's been in the booth giving us all the camera angles, replays, broadcasting, graphics, everything that's way too technical for me to understand. I've been joined by Brad Clint. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a great night.